opportunity for such mischief in advertising, but you mentioned they get hard to diagnose when there's these autonomous systems kind of stacked on top of each other. Our own system sort of became obsessive compulsive about one of our campaigns for reasons we didn't understand. It became like the only campaign it wanted to serve for a period of time, and we had to figure out like why is it stuck on this one campaign? And it was maybe I'll mention since there's a few ad folks in the room. Some of our exchange partners had erroneously blocked the ad because they thought it was about gambling. There was some picture in there that threw them off, but it was a fine ad for the exchanges, but they had blocked the ad. Because they had blocked the ad, our system was having a hard time delivering it at the level that it needed to fulfill our commitments to the advertiser. And so all of a sudden, just every impression that it saw, it's like, well, damn it, I better serve this ad because I'm having a hard time. We diagnosed it, but it was a hard thing. It's sort of this, Isaac Asimov actually wrote about robot psychology. So it was a hard sort of robot psychology moment to try to figure out like why is the thing so stuck on this one ad. So I guess if you look at that just inside our one system, just kind of having all the campaigns sort of compete with each other to get shown to users, it's sort of like the bill that wants to become a law. You know, all these campaigns they sort of want to get out and get shown to the right people. So that was just within our system, but you can have that sort of across systems as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's interesting because you said advertising is an open exchange, although there's not much that can be done to kind of bring down, very similar to the flash crash. But it actually isn't. So what you're talking about still affects 16 to 20% of the spending. Let's just be blunt, you know? So there's this large percentage of spending that oddly, TV is more digitized than ever before. Every single set-top box is basically just the internet, and it's horrible because you see pixelization, stuff doesn't work, so you're like, oh, I hate this as much as I hate my computer. But still, there's not really, you know, most of the industry hasn't really flipped to the digitization in terms of the processes and approach and the real-time buying behind that piece. So I actually think that the future will look a lot more like what you just talked about. And at one point in time, you might be like, why am I seeing this Kraft ad time and time again on the Olympics? And it's because some algorithm couldn't serve our ad someplace else. And the exact same thing you said is going to happen across, I think, all of advertising, quite frankly.
Yeah, when in 2008, when Wall Street had its kind of nadir, you saw, and they're very loath to lay off quants and programmers because they fight very hard to get them. They're hard people to hire, especially when they have experience. They make a lot of money and they're wooed by a lot of people. But they actually had to lay some of these people off in 2008. You know, obviously Lehman went down and everybody else was laying off a lot of people. And so some of these guys are actually hitting the street. And there was a couple stories about how Google and some other ad exchanges, they're hiring a lot of the people physicists who specialize in high frequency trading because it's the same science that kind of like